All right. So I wanted to put something out there to talk about sleep. There are two different types of sleep issues that I kind of feel like the population struggles with. Number one over here is going to be getting to sleep. Number two is going to be staying asleep. Sometimes we can get to sleep with no problem, but we can't stay asleep. We struggle. We wake up, we hear the baby crying, or a dog wakes us up, or we hear something outside, or we have to get up and go to the bathroom, and we struggle to get back to sleep. So we're going to talk about both in kind of two separate categories. So first off, let's talk about getting to sleep. What can we do to help ourselves get to sleep? So there's a couple reasons why we may not be getting to sleep very easily. Maybe our mind just can't shut down. Maybe we're on our phones. Maybe we just ate a meal and we're super, super full, or super just, there's a couple different reasons that or a couple different options that you can use. So obviously the obvious one when you're having sleeping issues is melatonin. I don't have anything against melatonin, but you do want to be careful with melatonin because melatonin can actually counteract your serotonin production and levels. Serotonin is what makes us happy, what keeps us sane, women, females out there, men too. So we want to make sure that we're not overdoing the melatonin so that we don't counteract our serotonin. So I suggest if you're going to do melatonin, you start with a very, very low dosage. Melatonin does have some side effects. So it is a naturally produced hormone. And so our bodies start to produce melatonin with our natural diurnal rhythm. When we have dinner, when the light outside starts to go down, when the lights are dim inside, it signals to our brain, hey, it's time to take a notch down. It's time to wind down. It's time to go to bed, which allows us to then be ready to fall asleep and fall asleep easier when we're ready to go to sleep. So we want to make sure we're taking small amounts. So you're going to start with a very low dosage and work your way from there. I do not recommend going over anything that's 5 milligrams to start or in the near future, because again, we don't want that melatonin to counteract our serotonin. So that's one option. Another option is I want you to remember the vitamin, nutrient, magnesium. We can get magnesium from food, but a lot of times magnesium is one of those vitamins that really goes like off the radar. It does not get as much credit as it needs to. Magnesium helps over 600 different functions in your body. So magnesium is something every single person's body needs. We want to make sure that we are taking magnesium. So there's a couple different forms, or we are getting magnesium in our diet. There's a couple different forms of magnesium that you can buy as a supplement to supplement your diet. Magnesium in whole foods is going to be primarily from your leafy greens. You're going to get a lot of magnesium from that. There is magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate is what you're going to want to use to help you stay calm. It's going to help your anxiety. It's going to help calm your mind and prepare you for sleep. Magnesium citrate or citrate is going to help you go to the bathroom. You're going to go to the bathroom a lot. A lot of times it's used if you have constipation. So if you're not having issues in that realm, probably don't want to take magnesium citrate. But magnesium glycinate and biglycinate are two options. I personally take a full spectrum magnesium. So it has all these different forms of magnesium. I take it at night and I get a very relaxed, calm state. And then I'm able to fall asleep really easily. Now, you don't want to be taking things like melatonin and magnesium in the middle of the night or at 3 a.m. when you're up and you can't get back to sleep. So meditation is a really, really great option. And I don't mean playing meditation on your phone and like that's not what I mean. I wake up a lot in the middle of the night, especially lately. I've got a lot of stress on my plate. And so I have not been sleeping optimally and as well as I possibly could. So for me, I lay down in my bed, I lay flat, put my arms right here, or I like to put my hands like right on my belly so I can feel myself breathing and really like hone into that deep breath. And I repeat in my head, I am calm. I am calm. I just keep saying it over and over and I'm out just like that. A lot of times when we cannot get back to sleep, or even when we can't go to sleep, it's because our brains will not shut down. Our brains will not wind down. So I'm going to use meditation for both categories because it's so important that you really get that mind-body connection. Like there is a mind-body. When you are calm in your mind or calm in your body and you're feeling your breath, your mind's going to calm down with you. So you want to make sure you're doing that. You don't have to say, I am calm. You could say, I am happy. I am happy. I am at peace. I am comfortable. I am quaint. I am content. Anything, whatever you want to say. But it should be something that reflects calmness and peace in your life. If you have a husband or a wife, if you're a man listening to this that snores, I'm sorry. Okay, because that makes this challenge 10 times harder. So I am sorry if that is you. Some other options for waking up in the middle of the night and struggling to get back to sleep. So the meditating is my first go-to. You could try CBD. So Equilife makes a CBD, and I'm sure other companies do too. And it is a liquid powder. And you just put a little drop under your tongue and it should help you. I've never tried it, so I can't say if it helps me or not. We're all different. So what helps me may not help you. What helps you may not be best for me. That's life. You can also try to read a book. That's very simple. Or pray. If you are someone who prays, you could try to pray. Something that does not require an electronic device, something that does not require the light to be turned on, except for minimally if you're reading a book. We want to keep it calm and quiet, and we want to keep the options real. Now, if you are a mom and you are struggling with children that are keeping you up at night, I feel you. I really do. And so that's going to be a different situation and a completely different conversation, because you're not going to leave your baby in there screaming. You know, my son is 6 now and still sometimes comes into my room. And it's important to stay super consistent, take him back to his bed, and do all of the things to keep that routine. So, because he can really get on a routine very quickly, and he'll be back in my bed super fast. He'll be back in there so quickly. So we want to make sure, I just totally burped on this. Sorry. We want to make sure that with the kids, we're sticking to a routine. And those are things that obviously I'm not in your house. We're not talking. I'm not your counselor. I'm not your shrink. I'm not your doctor. You have to work that out, but you also have to make sure that you're putting yourself first, because if you're not asleep, you cannot do everything that you need to do and be at your full and best capacity and your best health and your best wellness when you're not getting sleep. The average person needs 6 to 8 hours of sleep. I need 8. I'm not on the lower end. I need 8. If I don't get 8, I'm not a happy person, and it has to be good sleep. If I get 10 hours of crappy sleep, I'm still not happy. I need to have good sleep. So hopefully this video helps you. It's really quick, short, and to the point, but I hope it gives you some sort of direction. One more thing I wanted to add that just kind of came into my mind as I'm looking at my tea right here. Valerian root tea is something that's really amazing. That is another option for both falling asleep and going back to sleep if you get woken up. It's a calming tea. Valerian root really relaxes your body and your mind and helps you to get back to sleep. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was super quick to the point, but you can follow me for more tips on my social media or my website.